Hello, everyone, and welcome to week number 5 of our course here as we are progressing here within the semester. Week number 5 coming up, and there's a few things that we'd like to discuss. I'm not going to take up a long duration of this video here. It's just kind of getting us acclimated in terms of what we're going to do in week number 5. Number one of the things that I want to bring up, the first thing would be our Zoom meeting. We had one this past Thursday, the first one. There's going to be another one coming up this Thursday at 5 p.m. That would be 4 p.m. my time. Once again, 5 p.m., 4 p.m. my time, as I happen to be an hour behind you all, and I'm located here within the Central Time Zone. So what I'm going to do is the day before, I'm going to actually post a video on D2L, not a video, I'm sorry, but I'm going to post an announcement within the D2L course shell. Also, if you look at your email, if you happen to look at that, the email will also give you notification as it's already connected to the calendar, and I've already sent out an invite as well that we are going to have a face-to-face Zoom meeting. All right, and so it is, utilize this as an option. It is a resource that's being made available for the class, for the students. If you want to discuss any course content face-to-face within the Zoom session, or if you have any questions pertaining to the course, all right, feel free to utilize the time coming up this Thursday within our face-to-face Zoom meeting. Okay, so let's get into week number 5 here in terms of what we're going to do, because there are a few things within week 5 that's going to be taking place. We're going to talk about pricing decisions. So, as you know, the last few weeks we've talked about vendors, we've talked about suppliers, we've talked about the methods of delivery, we've talked about the different types of product, the product variety that you're going to have made available in your restaurant. All right. Now, what we're going to talk about and discuss is pricing decisions among the vendors. Very important, because this is all connected to inventory cost when you equivalent the full factor. So, as a manager, here are some things that you're going to be doing. You got to realize that factors do affect product pricing. All right. Also, the steps that are useful within the effective negotiation, and you're going to talk about several types of pricing discounts, and you're going to also be able to explain the rebate process. So the 4 factors influencing prices: you got to look at the vendor charge, you have to look at the cost, as well as the demand, the service features, and the quality. And so the competitive aspect of this, you have to do a comparison, okay, between various vendors. And as I had mentioned last week in my discussion, is that you're going to be using more than one vendor to get more than one product actually shipped in, so that you can have that made available within inventory. So, for example, your meats may come from one vendor, while your produce may come from another vendor, as well as your fruits. Your non-perishable items, such as canned goods and seasonings, things pertaining to that matter, may come from a different vendor. So will you have more than one vendor that you're going to be conducting business with? The answer is probably yes. You're going to be selecting more than one vendor, depending on the vendor and what they have to offer in terms of their service features. So as we look at the pricing decision process, okay, think about discounts, all right, which the promotional strategy for that is more, it really comes more from the vendor as opposed to you being the restaurant manager. All right, you're going to definitely look for discounts that the vendor has to offer. And discounts, okay, offered by the vendor is part of their promotional strategy and process. And the purpose of offering discounts, okay, is to sum up more business, or to attract more business, or to cater to more businesses. So put yourself in the position of the manager, of course, and think about all of this. Think about the pricing decisions. Think about the competitive analysis that you're going to do when you're comparing prices with different vendors. And then also contractual issues. One of the things that I discussed last week, I discussed contracts, and I discussed whether or not, okay, you're going to enter into a contract with the vendor, or are you going to purchase as is? So, for example, okay, Sam's Club. If you are familiar with Sam's Club, which happens to be a wholesaler, are you going to go to that wholesaler and are you going to purchase as is in order to keep your just in time inventory? That's an example that I'm putting up there when you purchase as is compared to establishing a contract with a prospective vendor. And then, even with the contract, you want to break down the intricate parts of the contract when it comes to the negotiation process. So, think about these things when you are doing the price comparisons along with the analysis on what's going to be better for you and more cost effective being in the role of the restaurant manager. So, again, as usual, your discussion questions, you're going to have two of them. These are going to be due on Thursday night at midnight. Now, one of the things that I notice is that some students, this doesn't apply to all, but some are only doing one discussion post. You're giving an initial response to one, but you're not doing it with both. I have to advise you all that if you only give one response to one of the discussion posts and do not give a response to the other, you're only earning 10 out of 20 points. So for these discussion posts combined together, both of them, that's 20 points per week that you can earn, which goes towards your final grade. So think about that. As you're only responding to one, you're losing out on 10 points. You're only earning 10 out of 20 points. So keep that in mind. It doesn't take that much time to engage within the participation aspect, as this happens to be an online course. Give an initial response to both discussion questions to earn the full points. And then, of course, your week 5 assignment, which is due on Saturday night, okay, it's a reflection on pricing decisions. So what I'm going to want you all to do is this, okay? Just like, for example, what I'm doing right now with Screencast, okay, and how I'm presenting, okay, this lecture, and I've done with all the previous weeks and even further weeks. I will always continue to do this, and then I upload it through YouTube as opposed to doing a quick share directly from Screencast. You're going to continue to use the restaurant name that you created for this assignment in weeks 2, 3, and 4. You're going to keep the names, and what you're going to do is you're going to create a 7 to 10 minute video, and you're going to upload it within this Dropbox on what pricing decisions you would apply to your restaurant. So after reviewing the material, after engaging in the textbook, after engaging within the PowerPoint slides that I've made available within the required course materials, and any other additional research that you would like to do online to reference, I want everybody to create a 7 to 10 minute video and upload it, and you're going to send it around the pricing decisions that you would apply to your restaurant. That's going to be due Saturday night at midnight. Another thing I want to bring to your attention is coming up this Friday night, and you probably, if you viewed the instructional video that I put up last week, and then also the Zoom session that I had, our first Zoom session this past Thursday, the midterm quiz is going to be due this Friday night. Now, what I did, I actually delayed this for about a week. This was supposed to be in week 4, but I knew that we had ample time to where we could do the quiz this week as opposed to last week. So, a reminder, everyone, that you definitely want to take the quiz. It's a midterm quiz. It's 12 questions. Okay, it culminates from true and false, multiple choice, and also there's 2 to 3 questions within the quiz where you're going to give a written response. Okay, this is going to be due Friday night at midnight. Make sure you take the quiz Friday night at midnight. Okay, everyone, so You have your directives in terms of what's going to happen and take place week number 5. Just a reminder for the face-to-face Zoom meeting that's going to happen. That would be at 5 o'clock this Thursday, 4 o'clock my time. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually make an announcement within the D2L course shell, but then also if you log into your email, you'll see that the notification will come up on that day for our Zoom meeting. And take advantage of that. Utilize that, okay, for any clarity that you need in terms of what you need to do. Okay, everyone, and continue to enjoy the rest of your weekend. Professor Javier Black out.